Let's go to the Game Time Game of the Week. You guys know we all love Game Time here at Barstool, the official ticket provider of Barstool Sports. Use code FOOTBALL when you create an account and download the app, and you get $20 off your first order. So Kansas State, TCU right now favored by 2.5, the total at 62. We saw this game happen in October. TCU won after Adrian Martinez got hurt. At one point, Kansas State was up pretty big. They end up losing 38-28. Brandon, a lot of focus has been on TCU this season. They've made it to the Big 12 championship undefeated. We don't know the status of Quentin Johnson right now when we're recording this. However, I think at this point, everybody who was doubting TCU is now admitted they deserve to be here. They deserve to be in the college football playoff. However, this is not an easy championship game for them.
What are people saying? Are they, to me, they're in either way.
They're in.
Do we want to have this conversation? Because I actually think that all 4 teams should be in.
I
agree with that.
I don't think anything should change.
Let's have that conversation.
Even USC, if they lose to Utah twice?
Yeah.
Because they're getting, you'd put in Ohio State, right?
I don't know.
No, I would not put in
Here's the issue that I have if you don't do what Dan said, and we're jumping into the conversation, but I don't think teams should be penalized for playing in
Ohio State would get the benefit of just being so not good enough to get to their championship game, so then they don't catch an extra L.
This is also, Brandon is on the side of, he doesn't think conference championships mean as much.
I don't think they should matter.
They should.
So then it's set.
As you see,
Oh, I'm not the one setting the playoffs.
Okay,
so yeah, it could be, but let's talk reality here. In that room, is it set in that room? I don't think it is.
No, definitely not.
No, I think USC,
USC is the most vulnerable. TCU,
the only thing you always hear premier program. I mean, they love to put USC in.
Right. And I think TCU is.
I think TCU.
It's a crime. TCU is the perfect thing.
If
TCU loses and isn't in it, then why would you?
But do you remember 2014? It came down to TCU and Ohio State, and Ohio State got in, and TCU probably should have got in then. Ohio State ended up winning.
That's crazy. One team goes undefeated in a Power 5, and you're penalizing them for the extra game.
I do think that what happened in 2014 probably wouldn't happen now because the College Football Playoff Committee has evolved. That was crazy. When you look back at that now, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know if they would make that same decision now. But the bigger question is...
It was the right decision, though.
Well, it was because Wisconsin did something good for the program.
59-0.
And lost 59-0.
Yes. The bigger question is do you think TCU can finish this season off undefeated in the Big 12?
That would be the easiest thing and the best thing for college football for USC and TCU to finish this off.
100.
TCU, I've been chasing them all year. I finally got them right last week when they blew out Iowa State. This one, though, Kansas State was up 28-10 when Will Howard got hurt the first time. Kansas State can run it down your fucking throat, and TCU doesn't like getting slapped in the face. I'm not gonna touch the side on this. I do think it goes over, though.
Yeah, I was on the same thing as you with TCU. I've been on TCU for a lot of this season. Them killing Iowa State did not surprise me. I mean, I know Iowa State has a good defense, but the thing is that offense cannot hang with TCU. Now, Kansas State can, and Will Howard, since that game, has played pretty well. I still am going to continue to take TCU. I think just the fact the line is only 2.5 when we're recording, I think TCU continues their magic. I don't know what's going to happen with them in the playoff. We'll get to that eventually, but I think that they do.
Oh, I know what's going to happen to them in the playoff.
Well, we'll talk about
I don't want to. Well, they're not. They can't fuck with Michigan or Georgia.
So you're putting us and them in the same breath?
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
And the breath is me saying that TCU can't.
I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over.
You're taking the over. Okay. So, and Dave?
I'm going to take the over as well. I kind of feel like I don't know. I feel like there's going to be chaos. It really would be better for everybody if TCU and USC both close out. And we get to a point, it's going to get to a point, and it will, where these games is an automatic bid. To be honest, I would rather see, and it's not going to happen, Kansas State in it than Ohio State.
They have a loss to Tulane.
Well,
you win the conference champ. I just don't think you should be obliterated at home in your last game and get into the playoff.
I do think that conference championships matter for a reason.
I would rather Alabama.